So last night was Drayton. Well, not last night, yesterday. And Drayton's a good derby because it's a day derby. It's on a Sunday, and it's at 1. So you're out of there by 5. You have lots of time to go home, have a nice dinner. Cassandra, she's disappointed with herself. That's the easiest way to put this up. She's upset with herself. But she had fun, and that's all that matters. I'm going to go through this van and tell you guys what I've noticed and stuff like that. So, first off, these little arms that come out that I thought were going to protect the tires didn't do nothing. They got smacked in very easily. Now, she was doing stuff that kind of made that happen a lot quicker. She would turn into people and try to take out their front tires, but all she was doing is basically hitting with her tires. There was actually a couple times when she put this van up on 2 wheels. It did take a massive shot here in the passenger side, and it actually ripped the rear door off, and I don't know if you guys can see, it kind of folded in quite a bit. It's a pretty big hit when you have a full cage like this inside the car. Now, I do want to apologize. I do not have a videotape of this. There was a miscommunication. Cassandra was filming everything. She handed the camera to another woman to help videotape, and I thought that other woman was going to videotape, but she didn't videotape the truck and van heat. And it's a shame because the truck and van heat was an amazing heat. A guy got his tire knocked off and kept driving around on the disc brakes. It was a very good feature, basically. But I'm sorry. You guys are going to have to go check out Dan Hill's videos for the actual video of it. As of everything else, the van held up really great. It, bent a rear frame rail, but it kind of bent straight in. That's where I notched it, was right there, and she bent in. So I'm not even going to really worry about it, to be honest. Now, what ended up taking her out is she did break an axle on this side. So we have already started looking into replacing the axle. As you can see, it's just right down there. She did break a tie rod too. Yep, she broke the tie rod to this tire. So it actually didn't break the tie rod, it just broke the actual threaded rod. So we're going to try to just patch it together as best as we can and get it fixed. And this thing's going to go into another derby. What we're planning on doing is just cutting this stuff away from the tires. Just basically flush with this here. I'm going to maybe put the door back on. But other than that, everything's still really good inside this van. She didn't get a flat on anywhere except for this one. Which is weird because I doubled these tires, but I didn't put tubes, right? I didn't have 16-inch tubes. So this tire here has got no punctures and it's flat. But let's go take a look at the other side of the tire. Now this tire here is not flat, but it's got some big holes in the side of it. So that's what I find to be completely weird. This one here is not flat, but it's got big holes, but the other one doesn't have holes and it is flat. So it's kind of a weird situation. This is the first time we've ran a Dodge Charger or Chrysler 300 bumper on the front of a car. She did actually hit with the ends of it quite a bit, and she did smoke the blocks pretty much off the back as she got pushed into them. But I'm thinking this thing held up half decent. Now, is it as good as a Mazda 3 bumper? I'm really not sure, but we'll have to keep running it to find out. Radiator did not get punctured, motor mounts did not break, serpentine belt stayed on, everything underneath the hood looks like it did good. So we just have to do a little bit of replacing with an axle and a tie rod, and this van will run again. So, don't worry guys, I'll definitely make sure I get it filmed next time. There was just a miscommunication this time. So everybody, it'll run again. It'll be fixed and ran again. Well, I've already started taking this van apart, and what I've come up with is it's broken an axle and a tie rod. On this side at least. I haven't had a chance to jack up the other side, but I imagine it's either okay or the tie rod's a little bit iffy. So I went on Rock Auto, and a new axle was $64 Canadian plus shipping. So that would have been to my door $87, basically. And it would have taken 4 days. So I phoned around to the local scrap yards, and they had a couple. One place wanted 100, one place wanted 75, and the other place wanted 75. So I said to them, I said, listen, Rock Auto sells the axle for $64. Can you guys meet it? Nobody would meet it. So finally I said to the one guy, I was like, will you meet it? And they said, you know what, how it's, they said they'll meet it at $65. So I said, okay. Figured same price as Rock Auto, I'm supporting a local business, I'll go there and pick it up. When I went there and get it, I got this piece of crap. This is the axle I need, but it has been sitting out of the vehicle for quite some time. I have a massive amount of rust down here. This is the unit that goes inside the transmission. And at this end, the end that goes in the spindle, it honestly looks like it has been sat in the weather for a very, very long time. I'm going to clean it up with a wire wheel. To get this piece out of the transmission is quite a cluster. So what I'm going to end up doing is just half shafting this, keeping that one inside the transmission, pulling this axle out, sliding it in, redoing up the cup, making sure it's got oil in it so it's nice and lubricated, because I cannot really get a good tool in there. I don't have the mechanics tools to pull this stuff apart. But we are going to wire wheel this. We're going to lubricate this very well when we slide it back in. And hopefully that's the axle fix. For the tie rod, I'm just going to put a small piece of steel. In my eyes, and most of my rules around me, you're allowed to repair items. And that is a spot where you're allowed to go 2 inches on either side of the repair for tie rods. So I'm not sleeving the tie rods, I'm just going to repair them. And it's all in how you word it and how the rules state it. So it is a repair, not a reinforcement. So we're going to get this wire wheeled up. We're going to pull the end piece off. We're going to slide it inside this piece that's inside the transmission. Put a gear clamp or a heavy-duty zip tie around this. I'm going to see if I got a gear clamp. I probably do. Do it up, and then put all this back together. I still have to pull the whole suspension apart, which I'm imagining it looks like 22 mil, and we'll get this thing apart and hopefully get it back together so this van can drive off the trailer. Lost air twice, and I'm really not sure where it's coming from, but fill it up and it holds air for about a day, so that's good enough for me. The axle we got really didn't fit that well. The rust made it very, very difficult to go in. I ended up giving the scrapyard the call and saying, listen, this part you sent me is too rusty to go in. And their reply was not exactly the most ideal. Their reply was, you wanted cheap parts, so we sold you cheap parts. I didn't really like that. So, before you go to any scrapyard, check out the stuff on Rock Auto. I still could have got it for cheaper on Rock Auto than what I paid for a used part that was really rusty. Wouldn't have been so bad if the part was still in the car, but it was pulled out and let sit on the seat, probably no door, and the rust got at. So, not overly pleased about that, but baggers can't be choosers. After further investigation, I did find that the passenger tie rod is bent as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to drive this thing off the trailer. We're going to pull the truck ahead so I can get out of the way. Pull the van up here so I can work on the passenger side so I'm not working in the dirt and I don't have to drag my welder through the dirt. This thing will be fixed today. I also cut away all this up here. It kind of leaves the tires really exposed, but honestly it was just being pushed back into the tires. So I think it was a better thing I cut it out of the way. But we're ready to fire her up and move her around, do some vehicle juggling. Let's get going. wife does not hit the tires next time. And the tie rods stay as good as they are, and the axle stay as good as they are. Hitting with the tires is never a good thing. It ends up breaking a lot of parts, and usually that's what takes you out, is something that breaks on a front wheel drive, something that breaks struts, axles, tie rods. It slows you down to the point where other people can basically eat you alive. So the van's fixed. I'm missing one lug nut, but I think it'll be okay. Maybe I'm sitting on it. Yes, I'm sitting on it. But van's fixed, and I'm not gonna bother putting that door back on. It's just gonna rip off again. So honestly, I'm just gonna pretty much just park this thing outside. I'm gonna use this as my pusher vehicle around the property for the next 2 weeks until it's derbied. Again, it's going to another very stock class. I might even have to cut the threaded rod out of it where it's going for the next derby. But Cassandra will derby this thing again, and the next derby she goes to, I will also have a Camry there that is pretty much nowhere near built. It's still sitting out back without a motor on it, so I got 2 weeks to build that. Again, it's a stock derby. I'm going to put threaded rod in it, but they're probably going to make me cut it. But it's going to be a quick build again. If you guys don't know, this is getting to be crunch time. We're in early August. So August, the end of August, there's 2 derbies. And then same weekend. And then September, there's pretty much a demolition derby every weekend. The 3rd weekend in September, I have a derby Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. And then the following weekend, I have a derby Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday night. So there's 2 weekends coming up in late September where there is 3 derbies in 1 weekend. And it's going to get busy. What I have to do now is, I'm starting to feel that mid-season drain. Like, it's hot. I want to be inside just relaxing in the air conditioning. But I know I got to get out here and get these cars done, because next month I'm not going to have time. And if I don't have time to build them, then I don't have time to run them. So I'm trying to get as much cars ready for this upcoming rush as possible. The main thing is you just recycle. You recycle your garbage. You recycle your cars that should go to scrap and run them just one more time, just so you have something to go there. You don't expect a place, but you just want to spend some more time in that ring. But that's what this van's pretty much going to be now, is just one more run. Let the wife go out there and enjoy it again. If it survives, it survives. If I have to fix it again, I have to fix it again. It's just a crappy van. So thanks everybody for watching, and like I said, this thing's coming along. It is coming along. It's basically fixed, actually. Both tie rods were bent and broken, so they've been fixed. New axle put in. Wasn't happy with the replacement I got from the scrapyard. Other than that, the back of the van came in nicely. I'm not going to really do anything back there. I cut this away because it was coming into the tires. I still have a bit of plastic here, but that's fine. Everything else is good. Radiator's good, oil level's good, coolant level's even good. The van's still in great shape. So it's fixed, it's repaired. We'll see it in the ring again soon, guys and girls. So thanks for watching. We'll see you back here tomorrow.